and in 20 years won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get. I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side, period.
So guys, in recent discussions surrounding the Netflix documentary focused on Diddy, comedian Katt Williams has added his voice to the debate, raising pointed questions about editorial decisions and the role 50 Cent allegedly played behind the scenes. According to Katt, several high-profile names were left out of the final cut, a move he suggests was anything but accidental. What makes this moment so compelling is that Katt had hinted months ago that certain truths would surface eventually, and many fans believe this controversy aligns closely with those earlier comments. In this video, we'll carefully break down what Katt Williams actually said, which names are rumored to have been removed, and why documentaries of this scale often involve complex legal, financial, and reputational considerations. If you value balanced commentary, clear context, and thoughtful discussion around major entertainment stories, you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future deep dives like this, and let's get into what's really fueling this conversation.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the lie.
Yes, you heard that right. With Katt Williams at the helm, this story takes an unexpected turn. Back in 2024 on Club Shishi, Williams made some very clear predictions about Diddy's future problems. Williams hinted that secrets would come to light as the year went on and warned that excessive partying may have disastrous results. At the moment, we are seeing the consequences of those prophecies. Diddy, The Reckoning, 50 Cent's most recent Netflix documentary, aims to reveal the hidden facts underlying Diddy's legal troubles. This documentary, which features never-before-seen footage of stressful strategy discussions with lawyers and alarming charges, has driven Diddy's crew into a frenzy and prompted cease-and-desist orders intended to stop its release. The documentary, which shows that Diddy is facing a 4-year prison sentence for prostitution charges, along with a startling wave of over 150 lawsuits, some involving kids, was boldly released by Netflix in spite of the backlash. You read correctly. Minors. Federal prosecutors are now connecting Diddy's case to the long-unresolved Tupac inquiry, raising the stakes and implying a more complex story at work. As whispers of potentially explosive tape surface, it's clear that this story is far from over. So take a look at what unfolds next. You won't want to miss it.
Just gave P. Diddy 4 years. I'll say that again. For taking 27 years. 4 years. Meanwhile, they tried to give me 4 years with 2 blunts I had no intention of smoking in the first place. Same 4 years. I don't give a fuck. Being an ass-picking devil worshiper is not against the law. They put that man on a whole RICO because they thought he was f***ing for China. They said, bring out the 9 cross. 9 niggas walked out there. That ain't even get the law. Go on and get yourself. That man liked this so much as his punishment. They sent him to the place with the most. I ain't finna say shit.
He knew that Snoop Dogg, not again, mentioned him in December of 2020, but everybody beat the hell out of me. Through you, that can't be true. What the hell do I know, right? And then recently it just came out again that Snoop Dogg got accused of trafficking children. And what did everybody do? Ooh, Snoop Dogg is at the halftime. I'm going to the halftime. But we canceled Dr. Seuss and Jemima. And nobody mad. Nobody. Super Bowl happens. They were dripping down from the letters, the LVI. I know, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's go to the game. Make some hot wings. It's fine. It'll pass. It'll pass, right? It's a phase. It's just a phase. But oh no, tell somebody that plastic straws are coming back and throw a fit. Let a convict get arrested. Somebody put a knee on a convict's neck and it's over. The neck of it out. Crickets.
And it continues. The intriguing thing about accusations like Katt's is who doesn't tend to show up when stories are spoken, rather than the claim itself. For instance, Snoop Dogg has a lengthy history in hip-hop and has been close to CNCOMs in music, business, and social circles for decades. This is only a matter of record, but his exclusion from several exposés has drawn criticism from pundits. Over the years, prominent figures in the industry, such as Snoop, have been the subject of claims made by online personalities like Ali Carter. Although these claims were never validated or supported by official investigations, they caused strong backlash instead of follow-up, demonstrating how quickly discourse can be silenced when it challenges cherished icons. The disparity between how quickly some prominent people are canceled for relatively small controversies and how others continue to make headlines at major events, like the Super Bowl, is frequently cited by critics as evidence of selective anger and media priorities rather than as evidence of misconduct. What's the best part? This is about comprehending protection, optics, and relationships, not about confessing guilt. Kevin Hart, who has spoken cautiously about Diddy while openly acknowledging attending industry events like the former Puffy Flavor Camp era, exhibits the same delicate dance, selecting his words with precision rather than conflict. So guys, before forming conclusions, take a look at how these narratives are framed. Watch this.
I want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No, I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. I should look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. I should.
Fresh off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was fucking stupid. Listen,
we having a good time, yo. Oh, your usher made it in the. Hey, yo.
Fuck that mic. I'm a thug. At the end of the day, I kill niggas, man. No, listen, at the end of the day,
And the best part? The interesting part is that beneath the jokes and punchlines, certain current comedic discussions have taken on a whole different tone. On the surface, Kevin Hart's latest joke about after parties being where things get slippery, followed by a knowing comment about how much we're all learning about people, and concluded with his typical optimistic enthusiasm, seemed like classic Kevin doing what he does best. However, the timing and context created concerns, particularly when he explicitly stated that there would be no after parties and that the event would take place on a Monday, so everyone would have obligations the following morning. That decision felt intentional rather than coincidental. It paved the way for a much more extensive discussion regarding how cautiously certain prominent personalities now move. Then there is Orlando Brown, a highly contentious individual whose remarks are still making the rounds on the internet despite the fact that his statements are frequently regarded with suspicion. Many of his claims are still unconfirmed and should be regarded with caution, but they have sparked conjecture about what some industry insiders might have seen over the years. It's evident that Kevin Hart has been in the business long enough to understand how it works, and many would prefer to keep him out of the spotlight given his present role. Discussions about Mace, a key player in the bad boy era who has opted for almost complete silence while being close to significant events and players, seem to exhibit the same protective impulse. Even if he didn't say much, his protracted battle to reclaim control over his work and his obvious shock when he did speak loudly. Uncomfortable concerns might be raised by including voices like his, which could help to explain why some stories go unreported. Regarding Meek Mill, which has long been the subject of industry rumors but few hard data, recent criticism has further increased the claimer without offering any clarification. All of this sets the stage for what comes next, so take a look at this clip and see what stood out to you.
Mill came out saying that he'll pay somebody $100 grand to investigate that he has nothing to do with anything with Diddy.
You can't take back what your butthole received.
Meek, real rap.
You think that audio that they put out was real?
Yeah, that was Nicki put that out there. That Nicki recorded that at the freak off.
in the Calabasas. She been waiting to drop that shit on me. She just wasn't gonna tell nobody it was Diddy. But now that Diddy out there, why not?
And folks, all of this may seem unbelievable to many, but the reason these discussions keep coming up is because the same names, patterns, and unresolved issues keep coming up in awkward ways, particularly when people like Orlando Brown, as controversial as he may be, have been making accusations for years that occasionally coincide with subsequent events. For instance, Meek Mill's name has frequently surfaced in online rumors. Things got out of hand when an obscene audio tape purportedly featuring Meek momentarily went viral on social media, with some listeners saying the second voice sounded like Diddy. Although Jaguar Wright publicly declared that she thought the voice belonged to Diddy, believing by itself does not satisfy the legal standard of proof. Hence, the fact that the clip was never verified by reliable sources is crucial. The audio vanished almost as fast as it appeared, demonstrating why it would have been extremely risky to include Meek in a large-scale documentary. Excluding Meek Mill seems to have been a calculated move rather than an endorsement or an allegation, because he is still an active, well-represented musician with the means to refute any unsubstantiated claim. When the topic of Justin Bieber comes up, the tone drastically changes since the framing is completely different. When Justin first interacted with Diddy, he was a minor, and there is video from the past that shows Diddy publicly claiming temporary guardianship while Justin was still an adolescent. Justin's uneasiness is evident in those recordings, and when questioned about the documentary years later, his response was emotionally charged rather than combative or evasive, stressing that he was a child and that he does not want to revisit that time for his own peace. This distinction is important since safeguarding a survivor's privacy is a constraint rather than censorship, and incorporating Justin would have required reviewing possible childhood trauma rather than looking at adult culpability. Usher, whose relationship with Diddy predates almost everyone else, follows a similar reasoning. Usher has freely admitted to seeing things early in his career that had a profound impact on him, and he has implied, without providing details, that those experiences have stuck with him. The complexity is further increased by his later role in bringing Justin Bieber to Diddy, and it makes sense to believe that going into explicit information about his adolescent experiences would go too far from being an examination into harm. Then there's Clive Davis, a name that has a lot of influence behind the scenes, but doesn't trend online. When Katt Williams asked who actually has more power than musicians like Diddy, Clive was the name he cited. Clive's impact on the music industry is widely known, having shaped numerous careers over decades. Including someone of that stature would not just challenge an individual, it would challenge the infrastructure of the industry itself, raising serious distribution and legal concerns. If you appreciate thoughtful breakdowns like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.